Hello, my name is Paul Grogan and welcome to the Gaming Rules monthly video log for the month of July, August 2019. My monthly video logs have been basically 2 weeks late now for the last few months. So this video log covers the period of time from the middle of July right up to the current day, which is pretty much the middle of August. It's like the 19th of August today, I think. So this is going to cover a 4-week period. I am possibly going to try and get back in sync and do them at the start of each new month moving forward, which means the next one is going to be a really short one. But anyway, this is everything that I've been up to pretty much in the last 4 weeks. Thank you very much, as always, to all of my Patreon supporters that make these videos possible. So if you like the content that I create, these videos and the other videos, then please consider supporting me over at patreon.com. Now, the first thing I'm going to talk about is what you're all probably most interested in, and that is all of the games that I've played in the last 4 weeks, which I didn't think was that many, but actually it is quite a few. So going right back to the end of the last video log, which was, July 16th, the next thing that happened is I went to the Clumpton Games Group on the Wednesday night. Now, I played 3 games there that evening. The first one I played was Welcome to Dino World. Alicat Games, it's a roll and write game, but it's quite complex. It's certainly not your normal, average, simple roll and write. Now, I was planning on doing a tutorial and playthrough video for this, which didn't actually happen in the end, and I'd worked on the rulebook for it. So I was professionally involved in this project, so I'm not going to give you completely, my full open opinions on it, because I was professionally involved in it. Alicat Games are one of my clients, and I'm going to be doing a lot more work for them in future. What I will say about the game, though, is that I thought, after working on the rulebook, I was quite rusty on it, and I wanted to play it on the Wednesday night in preparation for me doing the video to refresh myself of the rules. And I'd underestimated the fact that, we only played the basic game as well, but a couple of people struggled at the table, and I struggled a bit as well with it. It's not an overly complex game, but for some reason went into it with the mindset of this is going to be really easy and totally suitable for these pretty much new to gaming gamers. And it wasn't. It probably would be now, but as a sort of introductory game, it is a little heavier than a lot of your normal roll and writes. Now, speaking of a game that we played straight afterwards, which is completely suitable for non-gamers, and that is Copenhagen, or however you want to pronounce it. Queen Games, there's a deluxe version of this game. I have a box that says it's the deluxe game, but it doesn't have the deluxe game in it. I basically picked up an ex-demo copy from Origins, and it's really good. It's very simple, it's a little Tetris-y-like, but it is absolutely a gateway game. It's totally suitable for non-gamers. It's really easy to learn and teach, but it's got enough thought in it that makes it a good game. So that's Copenhagen. I've only played it the once, but I do want to play it again. And then I played Point Salad, which is a little card game from AEG, which is actually deceptively... I was expecting it was going to be really, really simple. And the rules of it are simple, but it does have this cutthroat element to it. Basically, you're going to be collecting cards during the game. You're going to be either taking the vegetable cards, or the salad type cards, or you're going to be taking the point cards that tell you how the salad cards will score. So if you're collecting tomatoes, you want to pick up the point card that gives you points for tomatoes. And the cutthroat element in it is the other people will be taking those cards away from you so that you don't get them. And there's definitely an element of that in the game, but it plays really quick and it's fairly simple. The next day, I played King Domino Duel with Rado. So Richard was doing basically a 2-player playthrough video of it. He felt that it was a bit too much for his mum, so he invited me onto the show. So there is a video on Rado's channel, which is basically me and him playing King Domino Duel, and I beat him. Excellent. So yes, so I played that. I actually really liked the game. We did a quick final thoughts afterwards, so if you want to hear what I thought about the game, then head on over to Rado's channel, and that's all there. The next thing I did is went off to Manacon, which seems so long ago now, but I have had 3 conventions very, in quick succession. So I went off to Manacon about a month ago today. It's the 3rd weekend in July. Manacon's been running for 35, 36 years. It's one of my favourite UK conventions. It's about 250 people, just playing games. That's pretty much all it is. I do a lot of work there. So the demos that I ran there, I demoed On Mars, which is always good to demo. I did 2 blind play tests of the Roman Roll game. So this is a game that I'm working on the rulebook for and doing a video for. Basically, we were testing the rulebook. So we weren't testing the game itself. The game's finished. We were just testing that the rulebook was clear. And we had lots of comments from the playtesters. So thank you very much for that. Improvements have been made. Paranormal Detectives for Lucky Duck Games. They wanted me to do demos of that over the event. And I did. I talked about Paranormal Detectives in my video log last month. Because I'd played it and I'd demoed it to some other people. Well, I've demoed it to more people and it's gone down an absolute storm. Really good. People are really enjoying playing that. More on that later. I also did a blind playtest of the rulebook for Scrumpy, designed by Paul Fronstoff Harris of HandyCon fame. I'm helping him with the rulebook for that game. So we'd done the rulebook and basically we needed people to sit down and try and play the game from the rulebook. So more news on that later on. And I also did some demos of Letter Jam from CGE. So that was my work at Manacon. But what did I play? What did I get up to? Well, I lost track and I tried to take photos of every game that I've played. But when I'm looking back through my photos, I'm like, I'm sure I played more than this. So games that I did play, I played Caylus 1303, which I also ran demos of over the weekend as well to other people. Caylus 1303, it's brilliant, right? It's fantastic. And I'm professionally involved in it and I'm going to say it's brilliant. So I'm breaking my own rules there, but Caylus is one of my favourite games of all time. And Caylus 1303 is excellent. For those people tuning into this video who want to know what's different, there's quite a few differences. It streamlines the rules. The rules are probably about half as complex, maybe 2/3 as complex. The game plays in about half the time. The money has gone. So the workers are now a combined resource. What was workers and money is now just workers. And when you spend your workers, they're gone. And when you sell something to the marketplace, you get workers back. So workers are the currency now. The king is no longer grumpy. You can turn up to the castle and not build any goods. Or at the end of the first phase, there aren't any phases anymore. But if there were, the king doesn't get grumpy anymore that you didn't contribute. And there are characters as well, which move around between the players. And you can steal them off each other, which I really thought, this is not going to work, but it does. It really does. So anyway, Caylus 1303, I played that myself. I also played another game of Championship Formula Racing. Now, I've played this last month, and we basically did, what, 5-player, 1 lap at Monaco. So this time, we played 6-player, I think it was, and we did 2 laps at San Marino. It was a much better game. I mean, the 1 lap at Monaco was basically learning the rules of the game. 2 laps felt more like a proper game. We didn't use the weather. We didn't use the pit stop rules. The rule book for the game is horrendous. It needs a complete overhaul and a complete rewrite. I've been reading lots of articles online from the designer of the game on his website, and that's basically where you go to learn the game. Yeah, so the rule book for the game is really not good at all. Lots of things in there that are just totally in the wrong place and lots of things missing. But the game is good, and I want to play more of it. So that's Championship Formula Racing. Undaunted, Normandy. I got an early copy of this from Osprey Games. I've been wanting to play it again, and I did sit down with Andy, and we did play it, I think, on the Saturday. Maybe the Sunday, I can't remember. Really good game. Do like it a lot. It does have dice in it, which is the bit I don't like. And games can drag on a little bit, I've found, because you're down to the dice rolling a lot of the time. And when you need like an 8 or 9 to hit, it comes down to sometimes who's a little bit lucky on the dice. But the rest of the mechanisms in the game, the deck building aspect, the fog of war aspect, really good. I do want to play it more. And then Andy messaged me the next day to say that I'd been playing a rule wrong. So apologies for that. But I'd been playing that you basically take it in turns like War Chest. So 1 at a time, and you don't. When it's your turn, you play all of your cards and you do all of your thing. So yeah, I was stuck in playing War Chest, but with cards by the same designers. What else did I play? Monday morning, I played Barrage. I played one last game of Barrage because I managed to get a copy of that from Origins, and that was the end of Manacon for me. If you want to know what I think about Barrage, I have done a review of it. So since playing that game at Manacon on the Monday, I have done a review of it. So go and check out my review video. After Manacon, I played Crown of Amara, which is actually set up on the table right here, because I knew I was going to be doing a review of it. So I played it, I think, 3 times between Manacon and Gen Con, and my plan was to try and get a review of it done and out before I went to Gen Con. I wasn't able to do that, unfortunately. I have managed to do the review now, but I did play it a few times at the end of July. And then I went to Gen Con. So, excuse me, went to Gen Con at the end of July, and this time they let me out of the country and they let me into America. And I got there, and there was a 2-hour delay at Atlanta, but it was fine. And I got there on the Monday. The plan was to take Tuesday off to basically have a bit of a relaxing day, catch up on sleep, get over the jet lag, play a couple of games. That was my plan for the Tuesday. And I did. I picked up the new Pathfinder Adventure card game from Paizo on the Tuesday, played it Tuesday night along with Kalis. So yeah, I didn't play as many games as I wanted to on Tuesday because we ended up doing some setup work in the room. But yeah, that was good. So I played Kalis on Tuesday night with Anthony Ricano, Chris Richter and Maggie Bott, and yeah, that was good. And the new Pathfinder Adventure card game, learning the rules. We played it completely wrong and we failed dismally. I then played it another 2 times, the Pathfinder game, I played it another 2 times over Gen Con. Again, just the learning scenario, just to get my head around the rules. And surprise, surprise, when played with the correct rules, that introductory scenario is very easy. The next time we played, we actually did it in 4 turns. And the next time we played, we did it in 5 turns. I'll be talking about the Pathfinder Adventure card game more later on, because I have played a full game of it since. But that's pretty much all I played myself at Gen Con. I did play Kalis again, excuse me, on the Friday night or Saturday night. I think it was the Saturday night. Yeah, so with Suzanne, Patrick Olmsted and Vitaly, we only played 2/3 of a game because it was really late. We got started very late and yeah, we didn't play a full game, but it was still good. So I did lots and lots of demoing at Gen Con. I was working for CGE full time, did lots of demoing all day, did Through the Ages, which was fantastic, did lots of letter jams, also did some Prodigals Club and Last Will. I did Galaxy Trucker, I did Pulsar, I did a whole variety of games. So I had a really good time there. I got to know a lot of the demo team from CGE. And Gen Con was basically a fantastic time. Really good. I didn't push myself too much, although I had my normal sleeping issues and was exhausted. But it was certainly a lot better than last year. All sorts of things happened at Gen Con. I got given some Gloomhaven 3D printed pieces from Patrick Olmsted. Thank you very much, Patrick. Show some photos of those on screen now. I also got given a dice bag from Thomas. Thank you very much, Thomas. And I wanted to say a huge thank you to everybody who came to see me at Gen Con. It's a real shame. There's lots of people in the industry that I know, I like, and I speak to all the time, and Gen Con goes by and I don't see them. So thank you very much to those people who, you know, took a few minutes out to come and see me up in the CGE room. I know it's not always possible, but I'm, you know, thankful of the people that I did see. I got to spend some time with some Patreon supporters, so Vitaly and Kim. I bumped into Gary, all sorts of people. I mentioned Patrick as well, who gave me the Gloomhaven bits. It's always good catching up with people. And next year, what I want to do is I actually want to do a Gaming Rules meetup one night. The CGE room one night was taken over by a Tantrum House and Board Game Spotlight meetup, which I didn't know anything about. If I did, I would have said, well, let's have a Gaming Rules meetup at the same time and combined all of the events into one. So next year, I'm going to plan to do that. One of the evenings in the CGE room, we're going to do a Gaming Rules meetup just for an hour or so. Yeah, so that's going to happen next year. What else happened at Gen Con? Oh yeah, I spent some time with TR Knight, who does a lot of work for Stronghold Games. He's a rulebook editor, and I got a chance to speak with him a few times and demo Letter Jam to him and his family, which was definitely one of the highlights of Gen Con. I got back from Gen Con, and I got back okay. There were no big problems with the flights that I can remember. No, I don't think there was. But of course, by the end of Gen Con, that last journey back, I don't sleep well on planes. I was absolutely worn out, absolutely exhausted. So I got back, had a couple of good nights sleep, and then... Oh, sorry, Gen Con. Sorry, I forgot to mention, one thing I did at Gen Con was a daily diary. And a lot of people said it was good. I personally didn't think it was that good. I recorded them way too late at night. So I was recording them at about midnight US time. So nobody was up US time and nobody was up UK time, really. And I just felt it was me saying, I'm really tired, I haven't done very much today other than demoing, and that was it. So next year, I'm going to do them again, but this time I'm going to do them ahead of time. What I'm going to do is I'm going to speak with CGE, I am going to get my rota changed so that I finish at 6 or 7 o'clock each day instead of 8 or 9. Then I'm going to go back to my hotel, I'm going to get food, I'm going to record the video log at like a reasonable time, and I'm going to do the same thing again. But one thing I did do was I did a contest. Basically, every day I showed a letter. Those letters, when you put them together, made an anagram. The word was captain, and about 93 people entered the competition. So I was really happy with that. And the winner was Hannah down in Cornwall. Your package is not on the way to you yet. It will be. It's all packaged up, but we don't have a post office in Cullompton anymore. And I've been really ill. I've been too sick to actually leave the house. I'm just about getting better now. So I will get it off to you somehow at some point soon, but you won a copy of Letter Jam. So congratulations. Right, anyway, got back from Gen Con on the Tuesday afternoon, and then on the Wednesday night was the Cullompton Games Club again. So off I go to the Games Club, and I decided that I was going to play the Pathfinder Adventure card game. 4 of us played it. We played Scenario 1A. Yeah, so it's still the introductory scenario, but rather than playing the cut down version of the scenario, which is like a tutorial, we played the full scenario. And it took us all night. Yeah, it was probably about 2 hours, 2.5 hours, something like that. 4 players, we did it. There was a lot going on. It's a lot more complicated once you start delving into all of the cards, but it worked out and we did okay. I started not feeling very well that evening. And then on the Thursday afternoon, I got picked up by Dave and Steve, who took me to HandyCon. And at which point I was starting to feel a little rough. I'm not quite sure what it was. I was thinking, oh, maybe I've picked up a little bit of a cold. Obviously run down at Gen Con and everything else. Yeah, probably picked up a bit of a cold. I'll be okay to go. Got to HandyCon, died of the plague. Massive apologies to those people at HandyCon who I infected. If I'd have known how ill I was going to be, I would not have gone. But I was feeling a little bit ropey when I left. Interestingly enough, Dave and Steve, who I shared a car with for 3 hours all the way up there, they're fine. However, the people I spent Thursday night with, they got infected. And then they passed it on to other people. So yeah, really sorry for everybody who got sick. I'm just about getting over it now. Proper flu, I've been incapacitated for a week. I tried to do things at HandyCon while I was still ill. And people said, oh, well, that's crazy. I spent 16 hours a day in my hotel room. I spent most of my time in my hotel room, but I came out for a few hours just because I needed to, you know, get some fresh air and everything else. And I did some demoing. I did lots of demoing of Kalis, which was good. I did on Mars once. I was supposed to do it twice. Thank you very much to the people who played it from the rulebook. I did more Paranormal Detectives and I did more Letter Jam. And again, Paranormal Detectives went down really well. What games did I play at HandyCon? I only played 2. I went there with the full intention of playing loads of games, but of course I was ill, so I just went back to my room most of the time. I played City of the Big Shoulders. Played that on the Thursday night. Didn't have a good time. I mean, I wasn't feeling very well and had to leave early. But my experience with the game wasn't great, and I thought I've got to play this again because I'm really not sure about it. I'll talk about that more in a minute. And I played Mega City Oceania. That's actually quite good fun. It's like a balancing game where you build up little buildings and then you have to, there's a dexterity element where you push them out into the middle of the board. It's okay. It has the dexterity element, and our game was decided because my building fell over on the last move. And it was going to be the tallest building. It was going to get me the most prestige of a certain type of building. Basically, it was like a 13-point swing. I'm not bitter. Just saying, it did have a swingy moment because of that last building. Anyway, Vashti won that. Her buildings were fantastic, so well done. The game looks great and is actually good fun to play. What else have I played since HandyCon? Well, since HandyCon, I got back and I died. And basically, I had 5 days at home, totally incapacitated. Wasn't able to do any work, really. I mean, I still had to do some rulebook work and I was still doing some other bits. But my brain was all over the place, and yeah, I really was too ill. On the Friday night, though, people came round and we'd actually set up Reavers of Midgard, which is another game that I'm going to be reviewing soon, and City of the Big Shoulders, and 8 people were supposed to be coming round, so it was going to be 2 games. That 8 people went down to 7, then 6, then 5, and then 4. So 7:45 in the evening, it turns out there's only 4 of us. So we played City the Big Shoulders. Probably would have preferred to play the other one, but nobody had read the rules and Rick had to go early. So we decided to play City the Big Shoulders. And oh my, I really did not like it. So that's 2 games I've played of it, and I'm really not liking this game at all. I am doing a review of it later in this month, so if you want to hear more about what I think about it, tune in later on. So that is it. That is all the games that I played in that 4-week period, which is not as many as I would like, but that is a quick summary. Let's talk about next the Patreon campaign. So as I mentioned at the start, this video and a lot of the other content that I create is only funded through my Patreon campaign. And recently my Patreon supporters have provided the financial support to basically allow me to buy some extra kit that I can now do proper live streaming using my actual cameras and not just little webcams. And I've bought also this because I need to improve the audio quality. I've had some comments about the audio quality of the videos not being great. So I've purchased this with some lapel mics, and I'm hoping that that's going to improve things. But anyway, my Patreon supporters, every month I do a shout out for what's changed, and I'm going to do that first, and then I'm going to announce the contest. So, new executive producers in the month of July. Now, if you are a new Patreon supporter that's joined in August, you're not going to get a shout out here. You will get a shout out in the next video log because Patreon's billing cycle is on the 1st of the month. So you've not actually been charged anything yet. So anyway, Michael from Ready Steady Play has joined as a Patreon supporter at the executive producer level. Thank you very much, Michael. And if you don't know Ready Steady Play, go and check them out. They do playthrough videos, long playthrough videos. Well, playthrough videos of long games that they split into chunks. So yeah, I've watched a few of them. Go and watch that. Also, Heisen has joined as an executive producer. Thank you very much. Gary Perrin has upgraded his pledge to his executive producer. Thank you very much. And we also have some new producers as well. So Chris Tong, thank you very much, Chris, for your support. Good to see you at HandyCon, and hope I didn't infect you. Colin Smith, thank you very much, Colin. I've known Colin for a very long time. And basically, Colin wanted a free Gaming Rules dice. And I said, well, you've got to become a Patreon supporter. So he did. There you go. That was well worth it. Dan Lebrun, thank you very much, Dan, for your support as well. And Dave Armstrong, thank you very much, Dave, for your support. Some more producers. Giles Bennett, thank you very much, Giles, for your support. Matt Jarman, who lives local and I've got to know a bit recently. Thank you very much, Matt, for your support. Here's one I'm going to pronounce wrong. Nick Badaliarca. Yeah, thank you very much, Nick, for your support. Pierre Aberg, thank you very much. Pierre, Roy L. Smith, and Tony Lawhorn. Thank you very much, you all, for your support. Also, Johan Smid has upgraded his pledge to producer level. So thank you very much to all of my new producers and executive producers. There's some extra shout outs for people who've pledged at lower levels. Erin Anderson, thank you very much, Erin, for upgrading your pledge. Anthony Yerakaris, thank you very much, Anthony. Jeff Rind, thank you very much, Jeff. John Fraser, Keith Shapley, thank you very much, Keith. Nicholas Nord, thank you very much, Nicholas. And I think that is it. So thank you very much to all of my Patreon supporters. The Patreon had a couple of months dip, but it's now doing really well again. So thank you very much to you all. And as I say, I've spent some of your money on buying new kit, and I'm going to be buying more because I need better lighting as well. Anyway, what does being a member of mine on Patreon help? Well, obviously you help support me financially, but also every month I do a contest. Last month's contest was to win a copy of Siege Storm from Awaken Realms Lite, or Awaken Realms. Yeah, it's Awaken Realms Lite, and some CGE digital codes for Galaxy Trucker and Through the Ages. I did the draw on the computer like 2 weeks ago. So apologies, I normally cut over to the computer at this point, but you'll have to trust me. I randomized everybody together, and basically the winner was Jacob Kuhn. So thank you very much, Jacob, for your support. I have contacted you. I've sent you the codes to the digital games. I'm not going to see, well, I don't really want to send this all the way to America, but I am going to see Jacob in Essen. So I will be giving this to you in Essen. Please remind me before I go. What about this month's contest? And I am aware that there is now only 11 days left before the end of the month, but this month's contest is a big one. And when I say a big one, I mean literally a big one. This is this is heavy in more ways than one. This is Escape Plan, Eagle Gryphon Games, Vital Lacerda. This is a heavy box. This is the deluxe version of the game, and I've even got the little add-on pack as well that goes with it. So one of my Patreon supporters is going to win this, and I really hope it is somebody in the UK, because I am not sending this overseas. It's going to cost me as much as the game itself to send this overseas. So yes, if you are a Patreon supporter of mine at producer level and above, you don't need to do anything. You are automatically entered into the draw, and you will win a copy of this. I will be doing the draw probably the 1st or the 2nd of the month. So if you are not currently a supporter of mine, and you do support me on Patreon before the end of this month, you will get entered into the draw. If you are already a Patreon supporter, then you're going to get entered in anyway. Right, that's the contest for this month. What stuff have I been doing content-wise? Well, I did a review of Barrage, so if you want to go and see what I think about Barrage, go and check that out. I also did a solo playthrough of Barrage, which didn't go too well, for a couple of reasons. The solo rulebook for Barrage is really not clear. Now, it wasn't clear. I posted the video. I said that there were things that weren't clear in the solo rulebook. The designer of the game actually picked up on the video and picked up on the thread, and he's gone away, and they have made changes to the rulebook for the things that I found that were unclear. So that's good. I like the fact that they watched it and they've improved it. So yes, solo playthrough of Barrage. Hopefully the new rules are a bit clearer. I also got a key for Gloomhaven, the digital version. This is on beta right now. So I got a Steam key for it, and I did a first look video of me basically playing through the Gloomhaven app on Steam. Go and check that out on my channel. I've also done some live playthroughs of Crown of Amara. This is what I've done this week. So I did one yesterday, and I've done another one today using the new equipment that I bought. I did 2 solo live playthroughs of this. And oh boy, Rado gets so much criticism for mistakes that he makes in his video. I know this game, and yet I was making mistakes in my live playthroughs. It's really hard to get all of the rules right, play them right while you're filming yourself, while trying to obviously make decisions as well. So yeah, I've got a lot of empathy for Rado and anybody else who does videos who makes mistakes. So those videos are up on my channel as well. And I've just done a review of Crown of Amara, which is also up on my channel. So that's pretty much what I've done. What have I got planned for the next month? Now, assuming I'm going to do my next video log in 2 weeks' time, which will be the start of September, here's what I have planned for the next couple of weeks. I will be doing 2 more reviews, hopefully. I don't know, I might not be able to. City of the Big Shoulders, I've played twice. I feel I've got enough right now for me to do a review after 2 plays. Some people will disagree with that, but I don't want to play it again. There's a bit of a spoiler. So yeah, and it's a long game, and I just don't really want to play it again. So I will be doing a review after 2 plays of that. Reavers of Midgard, I was going to play a couple of times at HandyCon, but I didn't. I need to be playing that soon. So I'm hoping to play that this week because I want to do a review of it next week. Other things that I'm doing. Tomorrow, I will be filming a tutorial and playthrough video of Roam and Roll using the new microphone setup that I pointed to earlier. I need to test it first. Make sure it all works fine. But anyway, Roam and Roll, I've done the rulebook for it and I'm doing a video for it. That is going on Kickstarter next month, I think. So I'm doing an instructional video for that. I am also next week supposed to be doing one of my old style, I say old style, a how to play video for Key Market. I have not done one of my how to play videos for 9 months, maybe even 10 months. And I'm actually really nervous about it. There's a lot of reasons why I stopped doing those videos, but I said to people that I'm not stopping permanently, I'm just putting it on hold. Now comes the time where I'm actually going to have to get back and doing it again. And there's a big part of me that doesn't want to. There's a big part of me that's really nervous about it for the reasons why I stopped doing them. But Richard Breeze wants me to do a how to play video for it. I know the end result will be good. I'm just really nervous about it because I've actually not got that one. Not just got that one. I've actually got 2 or 3 more planned for the next couple of months. And I know those are the things that I used to do all the time, but I haven't done one for so long. And people will be like, oh yeah, but it'll be fine. You'll be able to get back into it, no problem. Trust me, it's not going to be that easy. But anyway, that's what I've got planned for the next few weeks. And I think that's everything. So again, thank you very much to all of my Patreon supporters. And everybody else, thank you very much for watching. I hope you found this video useful. If you've got any questions or comments on any of the games that I've played, please let me know in the show notes below. Or if you've got any other feedback of things that you want to see in these video logs or things that you don't want to see in these video logs, then again, please let me know and I'll continue to try and make changes to make these videos more enjoyable to watch. But yeah, until next time, take care and thanks for watching. Gaming Rules is proudly sponsored by Game Toppers, upgrading your gaming experience. Visit GameToppersLLC.com.